Okay, welcome to this live stream. We have our Smart Aquaculture platform running locally because we've deployed it using our courses on OpenShift Local. And if you want to find our courses, you can go to smack.computate.org or computate.org and you'll find our latest courses here. Deploying Smart Aquaculture on OpenShift Local. And we have everything running here for our local setup. We're able to develop this locally in VS Code. And this is my VS Code environment that's running the Smart Aquaculture platform, and it did its data import to get started. Now we're going to do some code generation to generate a new model for a fishing boat. So let me go to the existing models in the Smart Aquaculture project. This is Java project with Java Vertex, and we go into source main Java or computate Smart Aquaculture model, and we're putting these models in a fireware package so that we can contribute these smart data models upstream to the fireware community as smart data models because they're relevant to smart aquaculture, and they already provided us with several smart data models like fish population and feeding operation and things, and we're creating additional ones that are relevant to our smart aquaculture community. So a new one that we're adding is we'll create a new package for fishing boat because we don't have that yet. And then inside of that, we create a new, actually, before I do that, I want to show you our code generation service. So if I do systemctl -- user status watch smart aquaculture, it tells us this is currently turned off. So let me activate it. This is it's also available in the Smart Aquaculture developer product that we have, where we can I think it's in this Jupyter notebook or this one, create scaffolding code, where we can check the status of our Watch Smart Aquaculture service, and we can restart it. So here, if I run this Jupyter notebook with the bash kernel, then it'll check the status of our Smart Aquaculture service. It says it's inactive, dead. So let's restart it here. So that restarted it, and then we check again. It says active, running, and let's check the logs to make sure everything's good. Okay, so these are the latest logs. It says it's watching this directory for changes. This is my home directory /.local/src/smart aquaculture, and then it's checking the source main Java or computate smart aquaculture directory for any code changes. And if I run this, you can also follow the logs. Maybe I should put that in there. The command to follow the logs. You can do journalctl -- user unit space watch smart aquaculture space -f, and it's going to follow the logs for code changes. And this is our code generation service. So I come back to the source directory and create a new file called fishingboat.java. And look, it noticed class fishing boat touched, class fishing boat generated. it actually didn't generate anything yet. What we can do is add a class that doesn't exist yet. We can extend fishing boat gen, which stands for the generated class for fishing boat, and we can have it extend a model called base model. Let me pull up a different model as an example. Don't save. Let's do fishing trip.java. This is a related one. So it extends, we extend map model because we want to put it on the map. So let me actually do that. Let me bring in a few imports from this existing class. And let me see if this already exists. Fishing boat gen.java is not a file that actually exists. And I actually need to type extends and change this to map model. And so it's telling me, oh, this class cannot be resolved to a type. Well, let's just save this file anyway and watch what happens. So it says that fishing boat was touched, and then let's wait. It says fishing boat, class fishing boat generated. There's no longer an error about fishing boat gen. Let's look. We go to the definition. It actually created this class and actually self-documented it with some information and put in a bunch of imports. Some of them are unused, but it created a class that can be extended to implement a fishing boat. And it created a bunch of code for us. And right now, this code isn't super useful. Actually, it implemented a bunch of methods for the map API that are useful. So and some helper fields, strings, and helper methods that we're going to use as part of our API. But we need to make this more relevant to a fishing boat. So what we do is we need to decide what order it appears on the site. So if I search for orders here, you see something already has the order of 7, 8, 10, 6, 9, 11, 1, 7, 8, 10, 6, 9, 5. So the largest order right now is company event at order 11. So let me just add a comment to this code and make this order 12. And then we're going to add some language context to this. So this is a fishing boat, or the description that catches fish and from a fish population and returns the fish to a dock. That's the basic description. Here's some language context. We say it's a fishing trip so that we can correctly write this in our user interface to do some English language context about what if, oh, this is a fishing boat. So we change that language context. And then we can give it a certain icon, and I use Font Awesome icons. So let me go to fontawesome.com and pick out a new icon for this model. I search for boat, for example, and then I get all of these boat icons. But let me pick the same style. We're doing duotone regular. And so I pick duotone. Where's regular, duotone regular, and then it limits the icons to those, so I can pick any of these boats here. Let's just go with this ship here. That's a good one. So I can copy this and paste it here. And then this model will have this Awesome icon. We're going to have it return up to 100 rows at a time. And okay, and the location. Location SVG, this, when we're on our site and we're looking at map models, or let me see if it works on, it might only work in like fish processing plants. Let me go here. Why is this site taking forever? Wonder. Articles. Let me go here and look on the map. If we zoom in here, it actually puts this SVG shape of a processing plant on the map. And what about map models? Does it do that here too? So we go here. Okay, I didn't get that working on the map models, but that's kind of something I want to do. So these also come from Font Awesome. So I can do SVG. I can copy this code snippet for a boat and paste this location SVG here. And then it'll add that kind of icon and language context to this model, and it'll build the code for that right now because I went and saved it. Now, what we want to do is add some APIs and some auth. Well, let me start with just the APIs. So we copy this stuff. And so what we're saying is we want to create a search page at this URI /en-us/search/fishing. It's not going to be a fishing trip. It's going to be a fishing boat. The edit page for these are going to be /enus/edit/fishing boat, and then give it an entity short ID. And then the API, the JSON API URI for this is /enus/API/fishing boat. And we have
So we need a list of APIs that we need to be familiar with.
yeah, and we can access control these, which we'll get to in a sec, but there's a JSON API for accessing fishing boats, which is this search API, as I call it. And then we have a get API for getting one fishing boat, which is a different, if you're getting one fishing boat, then you would do fishing boat / my fishing boat, some kind of unique identifier for that fishing boat. That's what the get API is about. The patch API is for updating fishing boat data, like how fast is the fishing boat, how much fish can it store, how much fish can it catch, or what is how fast is it able to catch fish? I don't know. Whatever stats about the boat we need, we can update the boat. And then post is for creating new boats, which we're about to do. Delete is for deleting boats that don't exist anymore. And importing, this put import API is for importing boats from a different source, which we don't have a source for that right now, but it may be useful in the future.
Okay. Um, yeah, and I'll, we can try to talk to Jarvis about this because we have the Docs Empire, and they might could help us do the simulation with some of their actual speeds and the boats and locations. So I'll try to Tell Jarvis we need this maybe from the doc from his docks people to help us give us some real work because they have like 6 boats,
Yeah.
and I'll try to I'll put in a request for that so they could give us some real time. Well, maybe we'll come up with a sheet of what we need and give it to them and they'll bring it back to something like that.
Yeah. Right now we're
Yeah.
just building what we think we
Yep.
need.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yes, yes.
Okay. So then this section is for granting access control to groups within the application. So we could create a group called Fishing Boat Viewer, which has get access to all the fishing boats. I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm just making this up right now.
It sounds great. Sounds great. I mean, I think it's very applicable. I mean, it's very
Yeah.
applicable, and I think teaching the communities is the same way. They have to see the potential. And I think they're used to getting a product and the product telling them what to do, but this gives them so much power. You know what I'm saying? They won't be used to it. But it's what
Yeah.
the communities need.
Yeah. So the fishing boat expert in the group would be able to view or edit all of the fishing boats because it's that person's job to manage
Mhm.
the fishing boats. But we can
And
also
we're
grant
creating
access to
jobs.
admins. Yep.
Yeah, and we're creating jobs, which is check.
Yeah. We can also do fine grained access control so that you can grant access to fishing boats per region,
Hmm.
but we haven't gotten to
That's,
that level yet. We need more
that is
data.
awesome. Hmm.
Um, so with this, all I need to do is um, I'm going to add some fields. Time zone field. Okay, so fishing boat. Here's where I kind of had the idea of fishing boat and fishing trip as separate things, but they're kind of similar.
Yeah.
Um,
Fishing boat and fishing
I was
trip.
thinking
Yeah,
of,
it could be two different type of customers. Maybe you got some customers that they just outsource the boats. You never know. It's
yeah.
yeah.
So I'm going to bring in some fields related to what time zone the boat is in, when it departed, and when it arrives.
Mhm.
Um, so if I save this, then it's going to regenerate some code here. And instead of 576 lines of code, it's now 1,100 lines of code and has some handling for time zone and departure date and arrival date. But let's
Mhm.
go add some more because fishing boat should have like max speed
Mhm.
in MPH. I don't know.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah,
and
because Chris, I'm thinking like for the grant, you could do your fishing boat with ecological forecasting. There's a storm coming in. Do we need to go back in? Those are other good use cases.
yeah, the max speed of the boat in miles per hour.
Mhm.
But this is not going to be its own date time. This is going to be a big decimal, maybe
Yeah.
a decimal
I, I,
value.
I would do speed of boat and how much gas you have because you run out of gas, you're in trouble.
Okay, okay. So we need to think about, well, let me also do average speed. Um, EG. And then let's also think about what you just said, which was miles per gallon,
Hmm.
miles per gallon. The miles per gallon of the boat. Uh,
And I can always think of like emergency response. There's an accident. How do we save lives?
Yeah.
But
We
that's
also
coming up.
need
Yeah.
um ga total gas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Total ga gallons
Mm-hmm.
or gallons of gas. Gallons of gas in the boat. Um, okay. And you can order these on the user interface. You can decide what appears on the list page with the HTML column and what appears on the edit page in order with these rows and cells. Um, but we also, well, let me just save this and see how it goes. So um, with this now, we save it. The file was touched. We're waiting for it to regenerate all the code. Now it's generated. And we take a look at this. And instead of 1,000 lines of code, it's now 1,600 lines of code and is able to handle time zones, departure dates, arrival dates, average speed in MPH, max speed in MPH, miles per gallon, gallons of gas. And
Awesome.
we have a whole API for this now. So fishing, boat, ENUS, Gen API service simple. It um, it's able to search fishing boats with access control. So it does all the access control for the auth groups that we decided on. And it has a, oops, let's see. So slash, it has a get API, a patch API, a post API, delete, import, search page, edit page, delete filter, and some general methods. And so it wrote 3,500 lines of code for us for our API. Now we're going to make it, and all of this can be extended. So if you do fishing, boat, ENUS, API service simple, this is like, this is an empty class that you can use to extend and override any function in here to do it differently if you want. But out of the box, it's already generated the API to do everything perfectly. And there's no errors in this code. It's ready to compile. What we have to do from here is, it should be in this Jupyter Notebook, regenerate base files of the Smart Aquaculture Developer product. So we regenerate the main vertical. The main vertical, if we look for fishing trip, actually first if I search for fishing boat, it doesn't exist. No fishing boat pattern found. But we do fishing trip, and you can see it initializes the API for fishing trips. It does some authorizing of group data, and it sets these objects up for searching globally, and we need to do this for fishing boat. So we update our main vertical with this Jupyter Notebook and Ansible playbook, which will put fishing boat below company event automatically. So that's, oh, let me think. Did that work? Fishing boat change. Failed one. Let me see what the error was. Let me see. Unable to find main vocal Java. Wait a minute. Let me check. Smart Aquaculture Developer. Parse.yaml. Oh wait. Dash shell. Okay, that should be right. Okay. It's shift local. Okay, so it's missing. Need to go back to the Computate Smart Cloud Deployer and make a fix for this. Main vertical. Okay, that doesn't exist yet. So I use the Computate Smart Cloud Deployer to update my developer courses. And we have this main vertical.java template in the templates. So let me add main vertical.java site file. Okay, well, I'll fix this later. What I can do is go to the Computate Smart Cloud Deployer, CD Computate Smart Cloud or Smart Website Builder, and ls-l Okay, it's pointed to Smart Aquaculture. So I go to this create scaffolding code, I search for main vertical, and this will update the main vertical in the Smart Aquaculture project. I just need to bring this into the Smart Aquaculture developer. I need to update the worker vertical and the DB to solar sync and the page layout. And if we take a look now, you see that the main vertical has the fishing boat API loaded in here. It updated the worker vertical. It updated the other services that need the new fishing boat model. And with one more step, we rebuild the API, open API spec, database scripts, and more. There's also a shortcut already set up for this here to rebuild the Smart Aquaculture API. So we run this and solar sync. Okay. And it's going to update a bunch of things like the open API 3 ENUS script, which is now 19,000 lines of code that we didn't have to write. Thank goodness. And it's got fishing boat APIs. And then we have the db-create to SQL, which has fishing boat database scripts. And if we stop and start the Smart Aquaculture application, let's see, I didn't do a Maven clean install, but let me see if it actually works anyway. So it tells us you can access the new APIs here. And let's see about this fishing boats. Fishing boats. Yeah. So now we have a whole access controlled API for fishing boats. I'm in the admin group, so I can access fishing boats and create them. So let me just try this. Average speed and MPH, let's just say 35, 55 max speed, miles per gallon, say 10, I don't know, and gallons of gas, 100. And the name is
Empire, Empire 2 or something like that. Oh, okay.
Empire 2.
That's
Okay.
the doc. I'm just making it up.
Okay, so then let's see if this works. Create fishing boat. Okay, so it created this record and it put a fishing boat at a random spot on the ocean. But let's go and put it, let's see. I should be able to put it right here in Louisiana. And I right click and say set location of fishing boat here. Did that work? Set location. Maybe that request didn't work for some reason. Console. Oh, I got some JavaScript errors. I don't know how that got broken, but we'll fix that. But not bad. We were able to automatically add this successfully and track
Awesome.
this as a new fishing boat. Oh, we got some format number problems. So I gotta we're adding some new big decimal things that made something crash. So I'll have to see what the bug is there. But we were able to add this fishing boat as a single
Very
record.
powerful, very quick. That's amazing.
So we'll work on turning this into a digital twin, but we'll have
Mhm.
to do that another day. I got to get to another meeting.
Okay, awesome.
Cool.
Thank y'all.
Thank you very
I'll
much.
see y'all later.
See
All
Yeah.
you
right, thank you.
tomorrow.